this. You're gonna put your needle through there, right? Bring it to the front, and the knot will be behind. Okay? And we'll cover it later with beads. But see how it catches a bit? You got a bit of tension on your thread now, right? Okay, now go and pick up your, we counted them out, 16 black, 16 white. We found 32 going around worked really well. It was a trial and error process. Make sure all the beads are going to slide through your needle. Otherwise you've picked up something that's just going to give you a headache later. And if you have your thread pulled about doubled, you don't have quite as much thread to deal with later. But you don't have to keep tying it off either. By having it counted out ahead of time, you know you don't have to worry now. If you knock one on the floor, then you gotta replace that one or your count is wrong. We found them in our clothes and everywhere.
On the second level of the house.
This is getting us started with the first row. Just a few left, still alternating. They're all, the needle's slipping through nicely, so that's good. These are those size 10 beads. It came with class materials. We're using a regular polyester thread, all-purpose dual duty. We picked lavender because it seems to be a nice color that sort of becomes invisible, but you still get to see it. Okay, so you're going to pull that tight around there, Lara, and try to keep that ½ inch from the top you wanted. Okay, now you notice you're going to have more thread than beads, but don't worry, we're going to need that. Now slide that needle through each and every bead. Catch them all. This is going to give you a nice anchor to the felt that you were smart enough to sew on there first. You're not catching the felt at all, just the beads. And that's important, I think, but maybe not. But it is keeping it up. By doing that thread up at the top with the knot already, it kind of at least keeps you in the ballpark. It's not sliding down your felt already. It's keeping you where you really wanted to start. So we're sliding in, catching. Black is really hard to see on black, but there you go. And now you're tightening it just a little bit, but you're holding tension on the left hand as you're using the right hand, if you're a right-handed person, to make sure you catch all the beads. Just a little bit of tension so that it's, till you get back to where you'd started with that round. All 32 beads will be now have that double string. This is why this regular thread worked good for us, not the fish line, in our experimenting processes. We're still laughing about. Okay, so is that our first row?
Yep.
Okay, now what's really smart is to count out the row we're going to go on. So we are going to go through the whites with adding a black. So now we're going to count out 16 black. And we have to, that part's important. You have exactly 16 cut out. So I'm going to press stop.